On July 20, 1969, the lunar module of the Apollo 11 mission landed on the moon with astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on board. After the landing, Armstrong struggled to open the door due to high pressure, but eventually succeeded. Clad in a heavy spacesuit, he carefully descended onto the moon's surface. During the exit, he accidentally broke a piece of the lunar module, which turned out to be the ascent engine arming switch. This switch was crucial for the module's takeoff and return to Earth. Unaware of the damage, Armstrong stepped onto the moon, becoming the first human to do so. However, did this historic event really happen? Over 50 years later, many still doubt the moon landing, believing it was a staged farce by America. Skeptics question how the flag fluttered without air and propose various theories suggesting the scenes were filmed on Earth. Let's explore the truth behind these claims.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Houston, we see you on a stereo, over. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The real reason behind the Apollo 11 mission was the Cold War, specifically the space race between America and the Soviet Union. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite, shocking the American government. In 1961, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first person to go to space, further pushing America to catch up. President John F. Kennedy, in a letter dated April 20, 1961, asked how America could beat the Soviet Union, ultimately deciding that sending humans to the moon was the next big step. On May 25, 1961, Kennedy promised the world that America would land humans on the moon before the decade's end and bring them back safely. Despite the technological limitations of the 1960s, Kennedy provided $79 billion in additional funding for the space program. Over the next 5 years, rigorous testing began, leading to the Apollo 11 mission launch on July 16, 1969. The Apollo 11 spacecraft had 3 main parts: the command module, service module, and lunar module. The mission used a Saturn V rocket, which propelled the spacecraft into Earth's orbit in less than 10 minutes. After completing about 1.5 revolutions around the Earth, the spacecraft began its journey towards the moon. On July 19, 1969, it entered the moon's orbit, where the lunar module separated from the command and service module. Michael Collins remained in the command module, while Armstrong and Aldrin descended in the lunar module. On July 20, 1969, alarms went off during the descent, but the mission control instructed them to continue. Armstrong manually took control at 150 meters, avoiding a boulder-strewn landing spot. With only 5% fuel left, they successfully landed with just 30 seconds remaining in the countdown. Armstrong and Aldrin spent 2.5 hours on the moon, collecting samples and setting up scientific instruments. However, they soon discovered the broken switch needed for their return. Aldrin ingeniously used a ballpoint pen to complete the circuit and restart the engine, allowing the lunar module to reattach to the command and service module. The command module re-entered Earth's atmosphere, deploying parachutes and landing safely in the ocean. The astronauts were quarantined for 2 weeks to prevent any potential pathogens from the moon from spreading. The moon landing was celebrated globally, but skeptics questioned its authenticity. Various conspiracy theories arose, claiming the landing was faked. However, these theories have been debunked multiple times. The Soviet Union, a fierce competitor in the space race, acknowledged the moon landing as factual. The flag's fluttering was due to a horizontal rod that couldn't extend fully, causing ripples. The absence of stars in photos was due to the sunlight and reflective surfaces. Inconsistent shadow angles were explained by the moon's surface reflecting light. Armstrong's descent photos were taken by cameras mounted on the lunar module. Critics questioned the financial cost of the moon landing, suggesting the money could have been better spent addressing domestic issues. In conclusion, the Apollo 11 mission was a monumental achievement despite the controversies and conspiracy theories surrounding it. The mission not only marked a significant milestone in human exploration, but also showcased the potential of scientific and technological progress.